Halo works, which is nice. I got that all wired in. Yeah. And we're gonna go ahead and go with this configuration for a while and keep the other bulbs on standby. Hey everybody. So I'm in the garage again and I was just about to put a new light bulb into the Himalayan, and I decided to make a video because if any of you out there watching are like me, first time you took your Himalayan out at night, you might have realized pretty quickly that, you know, while the lighting might be adequate, it's not great. It's pretty mediocre actually, to, to put it best. So I very quickly decided to upgrade my lighting system, and I've been riding with a higher output light bulb since then, but now I've also picked up an LED bulb that I want to test out. And so I just figured I'd kind of walk through the 3 different lighting situations so that you guys can see the actual difference between the factory bulb, the upgraded halogen, and the LED. I'm still trying to decide which solution I want to go with. So what I'll do is I'm in the garage here, as you can see, and it gets really dark in here when I turn all the lights off. So I'll do the traditional sort of spray pattern on the wall, but I know that that's kind of qualitative. It doesn't necessarily give you a sense of just what the experience is going to be like. And it is daytime, so I can't go out right now and actually test each of these on a ride in my neighborhood. But what I will do is, in addition to just showing you the spray pattern of the light, I have some small light sensors here that I use for some weather experiments and some meteorological stations that I set up. They're basically called pyranometers, and what they do is they measure total shortwave incoming radiation from the sun, but they can also measure light output from artificial bulbs, etc. So what I'll do is I'll put those sensors in front of each of the bulbs to get an actual quantitative measure of the amount of light intensity coming out, so that we can actually get a number and not just say, hey, look at this bright pattern on the wall. Doesn't it look brighter? So I know it's still kind of a little bit quasi-quantitative, but still, I think it's better than just showing you a spray pattern. So that's the plan. I'll start with the factory bulb here first, so you guys can get a sense of that, and then we'll work our way up through the halogen, upgraded halogen, and then to the LED. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got the bulb out. It's very simple to take off the bike. There's just 2 screws that you take off, and then you just pop the whole unit out. To unplug, there's a small daytime running light plug that just has a little pin you push to pull out, and then the main plug literally just pops off. I got nervous the first time I went to pull this off because it wasn't coming and I couldn't find the little pin for it, but it turns out it just pops off. So we'll start with the standard bulb, and then we'll go to the PIAA Super Extreme White Plus bulb, and then I've got the LED bulb, which is actually inside right now. We'll do that one last. So let's get to it. Low beam, high beam. Here we go. Low beam, high beam. Okay, all right, we're back. I've decided to go ahead and put the LED bulb in, which you can see. Got it set. It actually looks a little slightly off center, so I've got to fix that, but I'm gonna go ahead and I've tested it. Halo works, which is nice. I got that all wired in. Yeah. And we're gonna go ahead and go with this configuration for a while and keep the other bulbs on standby. All right, so just a quick epilogue video here from the garage. I got the bulb in. I finally got my little protector screen over the windshield as well, or over the headlight as well. And the windshield is back on. So everything's good to go. I'm gonna take it out tonight just to make sure it looks okay and it's adequate lighting, but based on the projections and on the voltages that I got out of the pyranometers, this is definitely the best solution that I think I could go with right now, affordably. So that's it for this video, but the next video, I am going to go through everything that I've done to the bike, both accessory-wise and tweaks and modifications, and just all the little things I've done to it. Everything laid out before I take my big trip in 2 weeks. There's a few other things that I was gonna bring up as of note. A couple of issues I've had with the bike that I need to take care of before I leave. One of them is my gear shifter assembly right here. I tipped the bike over a couple weeks ago and it bent pretty bad, so I bent it back, but I've got a new assembly on order. The other thing is my instrument cluster. So this guy here, somehow the screws on the back got tightened too tight and it actually cracked the plastic. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if I did that or if it happened in the factory or what, but I did take the instrument cluster off at one point, so I probably just cranked down with too many newtons when I tightened it. You know, you got to be careful with plastic bits, always just hand tight. But I remember I was also trying to eliminate a rattle, so I probably tightened things down too tight to try to eliminate a rattle. And there we go. So to get a new instrument cluster is not cheap. It's like $350. It's fine for now. I did find a used one on eBay that was taken off of a crashed bike. That's perfectly good. That's like 150 bucks I might get. But honestly, it's fine right now. Something to deal with next year, probably. I also did find an additional, an alternate windshield that I actually really like. That's a little bit wider, has a slightly bigger footprint, wind print, I don't know. And I think it's gonna be a much better solution for me as far as the buffeting. And, but again, it's not, I don't need to get it this year. I'll probably get it next year. It's somewhere in the 150 to 200 range. That's not cheap either. So that's it. Everything is ready to go on the bike. There's a lot of things I haven't talked about, a lot of little accessories and mods I've done that I have not brought up, but that's it for this video. Hopefully that was helpful. I know I didn't really explain the pyranometer measurements. Pyranometer reports a voltage, not a watts per meter squared, and then you have to use the calibration constant and the conversion factors to convert that into watts per meter squared. And I decided to leave all that out and basically just tell you that it was exactly as expected. However, I've been bit before by LED bulbs. I tried to put an LED bulb on the scooter once and it actually ended up being terrible. Even though it was brighter, the pattern of the light when it hit the ground was actually worse. So I'm a little bit nervous about this tonight when I take it out for a ride. Hopefully it's not a terrible light distribution, because I did like that extreme bulb from PIAA, but it was also very expensive. It was like $45 for that single bulb. So the downside, of course, to the LED bulb is that it's non-serviceable in the field. So if I'm out and the bulb blows, I don't know what I do. I can't replace the bulb. So I will have to, you know, as with a halogen bulb, if it blows, I can just put a new one in. I can't do that with this. So that is a downside to think about if you're considering putting an LED bulb in. Now the chances of that happening are very slim, but something to consider. So anyway, that's it. Thanks guys. And hopefully that was helpful. Nope. And that's all she wrote, kids.